another look at unbeaten Argentine Carlos Abregu, who tonight faces veteran Irving Garcia in a 10-round welterweight bout. Nick Charles, as usual, ringside with Steve Farhood. You know, when Abregu beat David Estrada on Showbox last December, he left more questions than answers, really. Now he's fighting another guy who's also not a huge puncher, but a very different style. What, Steve, in terms of execution and strategy, does he have to do against Irving Garcia?
Very simple, Nick. Attack. Abregu will do well to get the fight to be an inside fight. Garcia bends over when he's on the inside. Abregu's best punch is his right uppercut. The closer they are, the better for Abregu.
So we'll see. Garcia obviously needs this fight. Otherwise, he's going down as just a test for young guys. But Carlos Abregu from Argentina, where he began boxing at 16, won a national title, 43 amateur fights. He's a 4-year pro, but built an unbeaten KO record almost exclusively with home cooking, inferior opposition, when we featured him last December on Showbox against David Estrada, the rugged vet, toughest challenge of his career. And Abregu came out and established himself. He was the busier guy and more effective puncher as he swept the early rounds. Yet it worried him that Estrada took his best shots and didn't blink. Abregu also suffered a cut in the 5th, and it too may have unnerved him because Estrada took over much of the second half of the fight. Abregu surrendered ground, absorbed punishment, faded down the stretch, but had enough early rounds in the bank to win a disputed, unpopular split decision to stay unbeaten. Since then, he fought 6 weeks ago and won a 10-round unanimous decision back in Argentina. He's now 26-0 with 21 knockouts. Take us behind the numbers, Steve.
Well, Nick, 10 twice after knocking out just about everybody in Argentina. Abregu's been 10 rounds in his last 2 starts. That's invaluable experience if he wants to be world class. Confidence boost. Abregu's win on Showbox over the tougher-than-tough Estrada was worth more than his other 25 wins combined. Now he knows he belongs with the big boys. And full calendar, when most prospects grow into 10-round fighters, they slow their schedule. Not Abregu. He fought 5 times last year. This will be his 2nd fight this year.
Irving Garcia is from Puerto Rico, started boxing at 13, won 50 of 60 amateur fights, and turned pro 10 years ago. During that time, he earned 2 college degrees while continuing to box with mixed success. When he got stopped early 2 years ago, though, by Saeed Ouali, he may have turned the corner from prospect to trial horse. Garcia did win a 10-round decision in his most recent fight against former prospect Chris Smith. Irving Garcia is a boxer-puncher. He's 17-3-3, 8 KOs, and in what his corner calls definitely do or die tonight. What's behind those numbers, Steve?
Well, an impressive draw, Nick. His best result came a year ago when he fought to a 10-round technical draw for the WBA welterweight title in the Ukraine against Yuri Nuznienko, who was 27-0. Technically speaking, this stat is downright freakish. 4 of Garcia's 7 most recent bouts have been technical decisions as the result of unintentional butts. And hardened vet, Garcia has a major experience advantage over Abregu. The Puerto Rican was a 10-round fighter 4 years before Abregu even turned pro.
And so that's the setup for our main event. Carlos Abregu puts his perfect record on the line against Irving Garcia in a 10-round welterweight bout. Once again, here's ring announcer Mike Vale.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the Shumash Casino Resort here in Santa Ynez, California, where tonight Gary Shaw Productions and Showtime bring you an evening of professional boxing action. Tonight's bouts are sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Chairman Tim Noonan. The Assistant Executive Director is Bill Douglas. The 3 judges scoring this bout at ringside are Max DeLuca, Raul Caiz Sr., and Jerry Cantu. And the referee in charge of the action is Jack Reese. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get the action started, I have one more thing to say. Santa Ynez, California, are you ready? This is the Showbox main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is wearing the red trunks, official weight 147 1/4 pounds. He has a professional record of 17 wins, 3 losses, and 3 draws, with 8 of his wins coming by way of knockout. From Vega Baja, Puerto Rico, let's welcome Irving Shuma Garcia. And now, his opponent across the ring in the red corner. He is wearing the light blue trunks with the white trim. Official weight, 148 pounds. He enters the ring with an unblemished record of 26 wins. No losses, with 21 of his wins coming by way of knockout. From Salta, Argentina, let's welcome Carlos El Potro Abregu.
Aquí está bien, ¿ok? Pelea limpio, pelea duro, toca las manos, buena suerte. Mouthpiece.
The numbers, as you see, very similar with these two. The only difference, Garcia is 5 years older, but forget about that because he's had fewer fights.
And as in our first fight here in California, the rules apply and are different from Unified in that you can be saved by the bell in the last round. Referee or doctor can stop the fight. Boy, how about that Jack Reese's Spanish? Not bad for a Brooklyn guy. Huh?
Hey, I know it. My father-in-law taught him in high school. You got to love it.
Another excellent referee here, and now we'll see Carlos Abregu. Again, he's looked like he was wilting against David Estrada. The crowd hated the decision here, and he knows he's got a lot to prove, Steve, to the American audience. Said he went home to Argentina and they considered him, yeah, they gave him an A- maybe just for passing the test against an American fighter, a guy who wouldn't go away in Garcia or in Estrada, but now in Garcia, very different kind of fighter.
Well, much different, and the hand speed has already become evident to Abregu because Garcia's landed a couple of nice jabs, much faster than David Estrada would have done.
A lot of people with warning signals out telling us, look out, this could be Irving Garcia's turnaround fight. We'll see. He's got to box and box some more. He's pretty solid technically, though, isn't he?
I think so.
I think he's got to make Abregu a little uncomfortable, though, too. Steve, you mentioned him sparring Cotto and guys like that, and wow, right hand, and Abregu's on the floor.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. ¿Quieres seguir? Ok, camina aquí. Dame los guantes, dame los guantes.
Abregu was unnerved against Estrada. He may be completely unwound now, getting dropped in the first. First time down as a pro, and here comes the upset-minded, big fight win-starved Irving Garcia. Abregu gets clocked with a big right hand, and Garcia is not getting ahead of himself, Steve, at all.
Only the second knockdown of Abregu's career, Nick. His eyes look okay. I can't say the same about his legs at this point.
What about Garcia, his tactics now?
Beautiful jab. Keep it up. It was the jab that came before the right hand that dropped Abregu. So keep the jab going and keep distance. I said before, Abregu has to get inside. On the outside right now, this doesn't look competitive.
He is punching with intent, though. Off that jab, Garcia, again, has not gotten carried away by that knockdown. And heck, he's got a 10-8 round in the bank here, unless he gets caught with something big. But Abregu is trying to will his way back offensively and just shake off the shock waves. He was down seconds into this fight. Abregu a little wild, trying to land that big left hook. They want him to box a lot more, Steve, but now he's looking to land a big shot. Great start for Irving Garcia.
Ese jab tiene que regresar rápido.
You gotta start fast and use that jab fast. Let's keep going.
Ponga huevo, vamos. Huevo. Hondo.
Breathe.
Ese jab tiene que ir rápido porque esa derecha va a regresar.
Fast jab.
De vez en cuando. Vaselina. Pinta, boom.
Keep moving. Move your head side to side.
Hondo.
Shocking beginning to this fight, action from round one. Look at that right hand